and welcome to this week's episode of Foodie Fridays. Now, I have been doing a few different restaurant and food reviews lately, but I figured I'd throw a recipe at you guys that is super simple and easy, and I promise anyone can make. It is homemade pasta. Now, you really only need 3 ingredients for that, and that is 2.5 cups of flour, which this is more than 2.5 cups, but work with me here, folks. You need 4 eggs that are large, I guess. I don't know. Do they sell small eggs? And obviously you're gonna need salt and water to boil with, but does water really count as an ingredient? I don't think so, but just know you need water. Before your hands get all dirty, I would get your pot out to boil the water. Fill it up with water, put it on the stove, but don't put it on yet. And a handy dandy baking sheet, but put flour on the bottom of it so your dough doesn't stick. So now we're gonna get down to business. Okay, so don't mind the shadow of my tripod, but we are going to put, with clean hands and a clean surface, 2.5 cups of flour. And now you're gonna make a little well in the center. And make sure you have a fork handy. And now the fun part. We're going to crack the eggs. But make sure you don't crack them directly in there. Just kind of make sure that you're not getting any shells. So that's 1. Now that we have our cute little well of flour and eggs, we're going to put some salt on there and whisk it up with a fork. And you want to do this, first you want to break the egg yolks, and then you want to do this until everything is combined. Don't do what I just did. Well, I didn't mean to do that. So we're just going to hope for the best because I broke the seal. Once it looks like this and it's as combined as you think you can get it with a fork, I would go in with your hands. All right, our dough now magically looks like this after 10 minutes. Yay. Don't mind the appearance of my hands. So this is going to sit for 30 minutes and rest, and then after that you're gonna roll it out and cut it into little strips, but we'll do that in a second. Alrighty, so now that our dough has been chilling, we're going to cut it in half, like so, and then flour the surface and grab a rolling pin. Now if you have a pasta roller, that would be much better, but I don't, and I'm just gonna do this by hand. So what I'm going to do is cut it in, like I just said, 2 pieces, and then work with those 2 pieces separately. It's gonna be a lot easier and take up a lot less space on your countertop or table. And you're gonna wanna roll it out as thin as possible and then cut it into little strips, which I'll show you in just a second. Dough, it would be a good idea to get that water boiling. So my pasta was rolled, cut, and thrown in the boiling water, and right now while I'm waiting for it to cook, I'm starting to make my 4-cheese mac and cheese sauce. Alrighty, look at this amazingness. Now I'm gonna mix this all together and then show you guys, but I'm so excited to try this. All right, it's time for me to grab a noodle and tell you guys how this is. Okay, that is so good. Not only is that delicious, but it's super easy, doesn't take a lot of ingredients, and I'm sure you can do it too. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Foodie Fridays. I hope you enjoyed learning about how to make some fresh homemade pasta. I'm sorry I didn't give you guys a rundown on how to make the sauce, but it's super easy. Just some butter, milk, and cheese is melted in a saucepan and then poured over all the pasta.